you're setting the tone of, of calling them up. You're valuable. Being disciplined, right at 7:30, same bat time, same bat channel. 7:30, they're not here. I expect you to be sitting, ready to go. If you're not, door's locked. Hey, plumbing pros, welcome to the 456th episode of Potty Talk. I'm your host, Richard Bainey, the $1 Million Plumber, along with my co-host, the lovely Laura. All right, we have a fun episode here. I'm going to introduce the Monday morning meeting schedule that actually works. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice. Okay.
Are you even holding a Monday morning meeting? Okay.
Are
you holding any kind of meetings? Okay. Or on the flip side, we're having meetings all the time. Okay. Neither one of those things kind of
meetings
work.
For the sake of meetings.
Right. Okay. But we're going to get into perfect meeting. Okay. How to make it perfect. All right. To ultimately get done what you want to get done. Okay, we'll go into that in just a moment here.
Okay.
But it's good to have you here.
Yeah.
All right. Glad you're here. Hey, since you're here, hey, like, follow, subscribe.
Yes.
I never ask you for that. I've been told by the internet specialist at YouTube that I need to ask more. All right, because hey, look, we're trying to get the word out, and I guess when you like and subscribe and you do these kinds of, I guess these things called algorithms. Like that, I don't know.
Something, blah, blah, blah.
I don't know.
Whatever, just like.
The dielectrics connected to the.
Like a doodle thing.
Right.
Yeah, so give us a subscribe, a like, a comment, leave us a review, especially if you're listening to the podcast, leave us a 5-star review. Please leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah, but
if you hate us, just
move on.
Just go away.
Right.
Just move on. Yeah,
That's
go down the road.
yeah.
If you like us and you like the content that we're giving, just give us a review. You know how reviews work, and we'd love to get yours. So.
All right, appreciate it. All right, so there we go. All right, so what about doing these meetings? Okay. All right, about having meetings. It is important to have meetings.
Yes.
Okay. And so there's just a couple things you can do that just make the meetings meaningful. All right, and keep them good paced. All right, efficient, all those kinds of things.
And when you say Monday morning meeting, you're talking about Monday morning meeting with your staff, with your technicians.
With your technicians, right. There we go. Okay.
Because the technicians have been out on they work pretty much autonomously, right, on their own. They're out in their truck, they're on their jobs all by themselves, whatever, right?
Well, as we grow, as part of the problem, we think we're having meetings as the plumbing business owner, or out on the job with the guys, or right at the truck and those kinds of things. Those aren't meetings.
Those are not meetings.
Okay. All right, we got to get
Those
a
are
little more
conversations,
right? And we want to systemize them, right? They are that the guys just forget about, really. All right, okay. Well, there's key here. We'll get to it. Well, let's get to the first item here.
First
Okay,
point.
Number one, the first point is same bat time, same bat channel. Now, I'm gonna.
Does anyone not know what that is? Well, no, we probably should ask the opposite.
Right.
Does anyone know what that means? Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's back in the days, back in the late '60s. And I admit, I actually watched the show.
So did I.
It's
Batman, of
the
course.
cartoon. It was only a cartoon. It was live action. And I can remember watching Batman.
And they said that because
Same bat time. Join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
which meant we're on the exact same time every time, and we're on the exact same channel. Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
Which is so important. So this idea that you want the same kind of thing, and I just go right to it and I call it Monday morning meeting. Should every Monday morning meeting, Mondays. I mean, I've heard guys, in the academy or whatever, start out and well, no, we're busy on Mondays, and so I do mine on Wednesday. That's the whole part. Doesn't matter. That's
It's a reset. It's a
reset.
start for the week.
Right. It's game day. It's getting you guys have been gone all weekend. Okay, and so you want to on Monday. You want to start the week off. Okay, and so it may be at 7:30. All right. Okay, so it's the same.
Yeah.
So same bat time, same bat channel, same day, same time.
We knew what to expect when we were ready. When we were going to watch Batman, we knew it was whatever time. Do you even remember what time it was? I don't remember.
It was like 7. It was 7 o'clock.
Was it 7 p.m.?
Yeah, because I remember I was a little guy. I mean, little. I was probably late 60s, so I'd have been 7. Yeah. And so, and I still had to get ready for bed like at 8 o'clock or something. I remember that. So it was
we
on
knew.
At 7. Yeah.
We knew. So it was going to be the same time, and we knew what to expect. It was very comforting.
You remember they used to climb up the side of the buildings?
Of course, climb up the side of the building.
On this little rope that you couldn't even hold on to.
Okay, go look for some past, not now, wait till the episode's over. Go look at some past clips of the...
And someone would come out the window, like putting their stop and talk. Oh, it's Batman. Hi there, citizen. And everyone kind of. And when they show how they shot it, they're really
walking
on the floor.
Yeah.
So someone's leaning up to.
Okay, go check that out online on YouTube. I'm sure there's going to be some old clips of
So same bat time. You want your meetings. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes.
And speaking of bat time, we had the bat cave, right?
Right.
And we call it the tech cave.
Tech cave.
All right.
Tech cave meaning where
you
hold
meet,
meetings.
where you guys are at. My tech cave, my bat cave was the nicest part of the whole shop and all this. It was better, even nicer than my office. Okay. And we had red carpet on the floor.
We did.
All right. We had leather chairs, leather executive chairs, not folding, metal folding chairs and a, picnic table that the guys sit at.
That you tossed out. Your wife didn't want in the house anymore, and so she was going to throw it away. And she's like, and you're like, no, I can use that for a conference table at the office. Let me use that. No, that's just telling your techs that for one, they're not professionals,
right?
And that you're not being a professional and treating your organization and your crew as professionals. Man, get them nice stuff. Get them something that calls them up. You have them sitting around some crappy old table,
right? That
should have been thrown away, and a bunch of old, folding chairs that don't even match. You're setting the tone of what your plumbing business is.
We've had custom tables made, but we have clients that have custom tables made with your logos and stuff on it. And you can do we had the red carpet, leather chairs, and what it does just that. It calls your guys up. You're saying we're serving you, and you're worth this. We're worth this. It reminds them that we're not butt crack. We're not butt crack plumbers, right? And the guys that can't adjust to that are butt crack plumbers, and that's not who you want.
The ones who cannot adjust.
Can't adjust to that. And what's so fun is your guys will adjust. And also in this room, you never sit. This is the guy. Yes, it's your shop. You never sit with your guys, okay?
Because you're not one of the guys.
You're not one of the guys. So when you go in and speak for your Monday morning meeting, you're standing. You're never sitting. You never sit with the guys. If you have one guy, you never sit with the guys, okay?
Yep.
In that manner, all right? And so there's. The room size, the guys will start, they'll get their chair, they have their spot. And then
it's like church.
And when you were in there, you had to have your shirt tucked in, no dirty shoes. So the guys would get on the new guys. Hey, tuck your shirt in. Okay. No dirty shoes, because it becomes, this is our
sanctuary.
Right. This is how it is.
Correct.
Right.
So call them up.
Right.
Why not? Guys, it's not that expensive to get a nice table and some chairs. Go to, Staples, Office Max, one of those, and get some nice chairs.
Yeah, I remember even our time, the leather chairs, were, $2.25 or something like that. Because we got the executive nice leather chairs. And that's a lot. I guess you think, well, I don't have plumbers sitting in that. They'll just tear it up. And they get tore up. Why don't you replace them? Okay, right.
You're setting the tone.
You're setting the tone. Exactly that. Okay, you're setting the tone of, of calling them up, you're valuable, being disciplined, right at 7:30, same bat time, same bat channel. 7:30, they're not here. I expect you to be sitting, ready to go. If you're not, door's locked.
Right. And valuable. I want to say that again. You're setting the tone for the value of your company, so that when they go out to Mrs. Jones' house, they understand what you mean by value. You can preach it all you want, but until you actually show them, they're not going to get it. So they go out to Mrs. Jones and they feel different because, man, I just sat at a nice table, a nice leather chair. I got some nice carpet. There was free coffee and donuts or whatever in the morning because my boss, takes care of us and wants to, create value for us. So it's a different attitude when your guys go out then to Mrs. Jones' house. He's just called up. It's just that simple. He's called up.
Right. And so the guys that it works, the guys you want, adjust to it and like it and appreciate it. The guys you don't want, don't appreciate it. Right.
Yeah, won't be like
won't stuff right.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
So there we go. Same bat time, same bat channel. And you kind of let something that leads to number 2. Okay. Point number 2, preach your gospel. Okay. Preach your gospel. What do I mean by that? All right. Well, that's the purpose of the meeting. First of all, is a huddle up to get the guys going. It's Monday. It's game day. Let's go. All right, kind of reconnect. All right, you got to be the energy, by the way. Okay, you're going to come in. You got to bring the energy.
Correct.
Okay, the guys are going to be there. They're coming to Monday. They don't care. They don't care. The guys don't care. All right, and so they're going to be sitting there, kind of half asleep or whatever. You got to come in. All right, guys, it's Monday. Everybody have a good week and a weekend. You don't care, by the way. I mean, you do, but you don't. All right, but if it's just everybody have a good weekend. All right, I hope you did. All right, I don't want to hear whatever. I don't want to hear the stories. If you're single guys or whatever, just good. It's good you're here. All right.
As long as you got bailed out and you're here on Monday morning.
Right. Okay, and just having fun with it. But hey, now it's ready to get at it. Okay. Then when I say we're to preach your gospel, okay, the meeting is set for one thing, not to bring up all last week's problems, okay? If you had problems, any kind of anybody, that's you do privately with the guys, okay? One-on-one, right? The reason for this meeting is just to remind, to reinforce your gospel, okay? Your non-negotiables. You're going to have 3 to 5 things, okay, that you're always going to talk about and always reinforce. So, like in my situation, we had 3 things constantly, went over, okay? Options. You've heard, okay, Potty Talks, we talk about options. I think you get a feel in the academy, we're big on options, okay? It's a key ingredient to closing the sale.
Providing options to Mrs. Jones.
Providing options to Mrs. Jones and providing service. Okay, it's a key element of truly providing service to Mrs. Jones, providing options. So every Monday morning, I'd have a candy bar. All right, hey, Joe, and I throw a candy bar at Joe. Hey, we got Mrs. Jones, and she had a no hot water call, and you get out there and find out it's a lower element. Go. Well, he's going to go through the process, our service sales process, okay? I don't care if he does it perfectly or with a lot of energy. It's just...
I just splashed water on my face. Yeah, I did. This cup is leaking on the side. So I just splashed a little bit of water. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so...
Candy bar. Give me candy bar.
So throwing a candy bar at Joe. And it's not a thing of them going through perfect. Again, they're just on the weekend. They may laugh at each other, but we're reinforcing that process. Okay, I'm reinforcing my gospel. Another point I had every single time was to clean and stock your truck and make good job notes. Clean and stock your truck. Okay, clean and stock your truck. I mean, so we talked up, and I checked on that every Monday. Okay, and I mentioned also to take good job notes and pictures when that came out.
Correct.
And that was the thing. So those were like the 3 main things every Monday I talked about on that, because the purpose of the meeting is to reinforce your gospel.
Yep.
Okay.
It's also a good time to do a little bit of role playing, right? When we talk about training on options and things like that, there's different ways, and we did role playing as well, where you can be Mrs. Jones, or actually what always was better is let the tech be Mrs. Jones, because then he can, kind of ham it up or whatever. And then you be the technician on how to provide options. What's it look like to make the presentation? When I do this, it's on the tablet. How, going through that so they really see and get a feel. Role playing is huge, and most guys will buck at it if you don't make it at least a little bit of fun. But that's a great time.
That's why I always the candy bar thing. Okay? Anyone you get a candy bar.
Yeah. So do something that makes it fun, because the guys they'll learn something. Even the ones who aren't, doing the role playing, the guys around the table are going to learn something.
Right.
So.
And again, it's not so important that they do it perfect.
Of course not.
And total seriousness. I mean, you got to let the guys, because it's kind of embarrassing or kind of silly. After all, even the guys have been there, they know the routine. And that's part of it. You're just reinforcing this is how we do it. So when they get out there, the curveball's thrown to them, they're not surprised to see a curveball. Right. I expect a curveball from this pitcher. I mean, that's what we're doing here. So when we get out there and Mr. Jones goes, $480, that's a ripoff. That they don't all freak out because they've never heard that before.
You're right, I'm sorry, I'm out of here.
So it gives you insight. I always played, when I throw it at Joe, I always took the hard road, and called them names, and it was over the top, just so they're used to it.
Right.
I even faked cry. I mean, just being stupid, right? So so they get in that frame of mind that this is just a customer they don't want to spend money on plumbing, and we get that. I wouldn't want to spend money on plumbing either. And so they're just having a little hissy fit. All right. So that's how you want to feel, instead of being, oh no, I'm overpricing. I'm ripping people off. They hate me and everybody. I'm going to die.
Our prices are ridiculous.
I gotta get out of here. Instead of feeling like that.
Right.
Okay. Which is what is happening.
Correct.
Well, and then we go back to the shop. Well, you need special sales training. So we bring in a sales guru. It goes about, all the song and dance routine, how we're going to bundle everything here and there. We're doing all these special words and this song and dance, and it doesn't work. You don't need that. Okay.
Correct.
All right. You just need to have a candy bar and throw it at Joe and say, go over the options.
It's as simple as that.
It really is that simple. It does work that way. Okay.
So preach your gospel. Preach your gospel.
Preach your gospel. Okay.
Yes.
And again, I want to emphasize it's not the time to bring up new problems and go through a laundry list of stuff, because my thing, it's no more than 5. Even the same stuff that they hear every week, no more. The guys just aren't going to do it. So it has to be, chose that word, preach your gospel. In other words, your non-negotiables. This is what means.
Non-negotiables means exactly that. You don't negotiate.
Right.
It's not, there's some things you might negotiate with. Golly, maybe I'm trying to think something that would be outside. but are things that you, as a plumbing business owner, will not tolerate if someone breaks the rule. You won't tolerate it. It is non-negotiable.
So I knew that it was important for the customer experience, both the customer experience and the ability to close a sale every single time was to provide options. So that was a non-negotiable. So if we went out there and we got a $49,
we didn't charge out, and we didn't offer options.
Look back, and there were no options and that kind of thing.
Blue gasket.
Right, blue gasket.
Right.
And
so they knew it, and that's why you don't do 10 non-negotiables.
Right.
It's too many. It's too many for your guys to, okay, well, I've got to do this, and I've got to do
because they
that.
won't, right, because then, they can't remember all, then it's like none of them has any power.
Correct.
So like my thing was also clean and stock your truck. So even when it came to the day when I had a GM and I wasn't doing the meetings and I just showed up, which is a fun place to be because now you're the rock star, by the way, when you just kind of show up, Richard's here, whatever, that kind of thing. But they would say, Richard walking the parking lot. What they knew was that was one of my non-negotiables was I'm checking out their trucks. And so if they're not seeing, truck is kind of trashed a little bit, they're going to hear from me because it was a non-negotiable. Because non-negotiable meant I didn't wait till next week to talk to them sometime privately. I talked to them right then. Right. So that's
non-negotiable.
So that's the power of non-negotiable. Your gospel.
Yes.
Okay. It is.
And it doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
This is yours. Again, This is your plumbing business. You're not answering to anybody. You're not answering to anybody. There's no hidden secret plumbing code or whatever that you answer to. Well, other than actual code. But there's that when I'm talking the business part of it.
There is the code.
There is the code. Okay. Pay attention to the code and do that. Yeah. But from a business standpoint, you get to decide. It's your plumbing business. You can decide that a non-negotiable is that everybody that works here has to have red hair. Right. I mean, it doesn't matter. Right. Well, that might be discriminatory. Okay, we can't do that one. Or it doesn't matter. Whatever your thing is, you get to decide. Because you're the boss of you. You're the boss of the company. You get to decide what your non-negotiables are. But you need you need to decide. You need to give them, because if not, then they don't have a boundary. The guys don't have boundaries on things. If you're kind of letting them go willy-nilly on everything, that's insecure and that's uncomfortable. If you've got kids, you know what that's like. Right. Kids will test the boundaries, but they want them. Your kids want boundaries. Because it just feels unsettling to not have them. So it's the same with your guys. You got to give them those boundaries that they need to stay within.
They know that they could just die for these things. Okay, it actually makes
He's going to kill me if I don't do these things.
It actually makes them feel more safe and secure.
Correct.
I know it's silly, but
it's true.
It is. Okay, and that even makes it more possible for them to hear the other stuff occasionally that you throw their way. It raises their level up. Right. Okay. So it's so important, okay, which finally leads to and we've kind of been saying this, and we said it, our final point here, wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. You're going to do the same thing every Monday, speak on the same stuff every Monday until you sell your business.
For millions of dollars.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. And it is that simple. It's that boring.
Yep.
Okay. We talk about this too in the academy with this idea of a complexity creep, which is what kills businesses. And so we think on these meetings we got to talk, every single time a bunch of different stuff, and I always got to point out everything that went wrong last week and everything I'm thinking about for the future and all that. No. Okay. That's just too complex. You keep it this simple. You're going over your non-negotiables. Okay, re-hitting those in. That keeps everything running smooth, reminding them. You get them in and gets them energized. We're still a team. All right, let's go.
It's a great time to give guys attaboys too. Attaboys.
Yes. That is a great point. That is the time. Would always find, that was one of course, we teach that. I guess this is a bonus point here, a free bonus point. Okay.
An attaboy.
You always at your meeting, you find some reason to give one of the guys an attaboy, point something out that has to do with them taking personal responsibility. Like they made this decision on their own.
Right.
A job that was going south and they weren't whining the whole time.
Right.
It just, I found out, hey Joe, I just found out, man, that job on the last Thursday was kicking your butt and you stayed there till 7 to get it done. Man, way to go.
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate it, man. It was great service. That's way to plumb like a champion. Man.
Right.
So it's that kind of thing because he didn't whine and complain and make it obvious.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So you're kind of pointing out. It's like with your kids. You're pointing out when one of the kids is doing something that you want everyone to do. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, like we said earlier, if there's something you need to address that's not so positive, then that's when you do the one-on-one. But
yes, that's a mistake I made, and I'll get that. Okay. Another bonus point here. Don't do, and that's what we talk. I've made every mistake. Okay. So don't have, if one of the guys, like say that it was Joe on Thursday that did a bonehead thing. Don't bring that up in the meeting and talk to all the guys like everyone did it.
Right.
Okay. And like everyone, make sure you don't do this. And even though you're saying, I'm just using Joe as the example. First of all, it doesn't work with his, it kind of puts just in leadership ways, putting guys down doesn't necessarily work overall. There's time when you can shame in front of guys. It's a rare thing to use. But mostly it's the other thing of just pointing out when they do well.
Right.
But what I'm trying to get across there is don't bring a problem and make like everyone's doing the same problem.
Correct.
Because the guys are going, I didn't do that.
Why is he yelling at me?
And then they're feeling
why
bad.
why is he getting all uptight and
right.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah. When I never do that.
No.
And everybody there knows, Joe always does that.
Right.
So yeah, it's uncomfortable. So yeah, if there is something that needs to be addressed, just that's negative. That's always one-on-one. But attaboys are great to give out in front of everybody. In front of everybody.
And if you need to address something with Joe, it's like just quietly, somehow at the beginning of the meeting or grab Joe on the way out. Hey, before you hit to your job here, I want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. And then you just, depending on what his personality needs, some guys, an arm, and shoulders works, or some guy may need, hey, step in my office here, and they need to feel a little bit more, straight up talk. Mm-hmm. But whatever, that's when you do have that conversation privately.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So there we go.
Those are meetings that work, that actually work.
Right.
Right.
That's it. It's that simple. Just do that. Okay. And if you want to talk about, if you want to learn other things, okay, you heard us mention the Success Academy, but if you're just struggling with your plumbing business, whether you're starting out or you've had some years here, but just not, it's just, the harder you work, the less you make, right? One, it's one step up, two steps back. You're feeling that. Hey, let's have a conversation. Book a call.
Yep.
Okay. And we'll have a simple conversation. It's a free call. There's going to be no pressure. We're going to find out about where you're at with your plumbing business, okay? What's standing in your way of getting to where you want to be, and then come up with a plan, okay? And that plan may include, we introduce the Success Academy and wear that. There's no pressure. Decide whether that's for you or not, or what bottom line is, I'll point you in the right direction, okay? Let's have a conversation. We're here to help, all right? Simply go to milliondollarplumber.com/call.
CALL.
And schedule your call.
Yes, and actually, if you watched last Potty Talk episode, as of right now, time of the recording, we have a very special free offering. Get $10,000 worth of something, which is great for your plumbing business. You can get that for free.
For free.
Yeah.
All right.
So go check out last episode.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. There's good stuff here. Monday morning meetings. We're doing it every Monday morning. Okay. Get her done. Get her done. Okay. Hey, it was good having you here. All right. Enjoy spending time with you. But as always, I want to remind you before I let you go that you were perfectly and wonderfully created. And you were created to do great things. Plumb like a champion.
Bye, everybody.